state we need to acquire. And there is a chance to get such a kind of thing also. That is what our scriptures talk about. Our Vedas are talking about it. Our Puranas are describing about it. Our Itihasas also revealing something about it. And our Agama scriptures also assigning strongly about such places, and the way to reach such places also is recommended, and this is that what we are taking now. We call it is a new birth, taking a new birth, but this is not a bodily birth, it's already there with us. We are taking an intellectual birth, what we call as jnana janma. This is yoni janma, means we born from a body, but today we want to take another birth by virtue of the knowledge we adopt. That is what we are going to take today, and that is called Vaishnava Janma. So today, after taking this, how people call us is, or what we call ourselves as Vaishnava. So we are Vaishnavas. And how come we become Vaishnavas then? Is it just we want to become Vaishnavas? Can we become Vaishnavas? No. There are certain qualifications which we need to add to us. If one becomes to want to become a doctor, just by thinking no one can become a doctor, right? How one can become a doctor? By adding some qualifications, one can become a doctor. So also, we have to add certain qualifications which make us to become a Vaishnava. And qualification in Sanskrit is called samskara. What do you call it? Samskara. And we take 5 samskaras now. Because there are 5 samskaras, 5 qualifications in this act, so we call it is Pancha Samskaram. Collectively we call it as Pancha Samskaram. Each one is aimed at some purpose. So what are those 5 samskaras? This is one samskaram. How do you call it? Pundra. We call it is Pundra. And then we take Sankham and Chakram on our shoulders. That is called, because we heat up and take them on the shoulders. So the heating is called Tapa. So we call it is Tapa Samskara. And then we take 3 mantras for us to chant at different times. And 4th is we dedicate ourselves to the Lord and keep Him as our boss. And then according to His instructions, we keep doing our routine activities, which is called Yaga. How do you call it? Yaga. And the 5th one is, it's given to us by a lineage of gurus, which is supported by Ramanujacharya Swami. And we think, or we adopt that lineage of Acharyas as our saviors. So we become dasas to that lineage, and we take a name also for that purpose. And we call ourselves as Ramanuja dasas. And that is taking a name, because being born, we need to take a name also, right? So we take a name also as Ramanuja Dasa. So this is another samskara. Taking a name also is a samskara. So 5 samskaras ultimately. What are they? One,
Pundra.
Pundra. We put it vertical. Any mark on the forehead is called Pundram only. Whether you put like this, whether you put like this, it is called Pundra, which means dispels the ignorance of other person. The moment they look at you, they think, oh, probably you are aiming at something. That's how they recognize you. So this is something that reveals to the other person. That's why it is called Pundra, a revealer. And we put it vertical. So vertical line is called Urdhva. So this is Pundra and we put it Urdhva. So it is called
Urdhva Pundra.
Urdhva Pundram. That's how we call it. Urdhva Pundram. And some people put it like this. You understand? You might have seen it, right? How do you call it? It is called Tiryak. Tiryak means horizontal. So that is called Tiryak Pundra. This is called Urdhva Pundra. But both are Pundras though. And this also indicates something for us. So the first one is Pundra, and second
Thapa.
Tapa, and third
Mantra.
Mantra, and then Yaga, and then
Nama.
Nama.
Nama. So these are 5 samskaras. Why do we take these things? As an indication of our new
Birth.
birth. What type of birth it is? Intellectual birth. Intellectual birth. Jnana Janma, we call it. So that is called Vaishnava Janma. Now, let us understand why we take each one of them. Right? Usually, whenever people look at us, they ask by seeing this, hey, what is this? People are very curious, the moment they look at us, they ask, what is this? Then we say, to be simple, because we can't explain them all the scriptures, right? So, in the simple words, we say, this is peace. What is the color of peace?
White.
White. And this is love. What is the color of love?
Pink.
Pink. Yes. This is something like that. So, we say it is love as the foundation, and then the love that leads us towards the
Light.
progression. Progression. Right? Then they say, oh, that's all. Though it is just for fun we say, but it is so true. How peace we need in heart. Because it is something, disturbance in the heart always causes all kinds of disturbance to us, right? If our mind is stable, then everything becomes stable. If the mind is not stable, nothing is stable. The whole world appears as if it is shaking or as if it is rotating, right? So if the mind is stable, everything becomes stable. And mind becomes stable when there is sattva. There are 3 qualities to the nature. One is called sattva. Other one is called rajas. And third one is called
Tamas.
tamas. These are 3 qualities of the nature. And among these 3, sattvam is clear. It is just like the transparent glass. You can see through. Though it is there, but you can see through because of its clarity. So sattvam is very clear, which makes you to understand things as it is called sattva. Actually, sattva cannot be seen, but you can imagine. See, you won't be able to see certain things, but you can infer. By understanding something, you think, oh, it may be like this. See, when there is sound you are hearing, you think, oh, there may be somebody running a machine. You didn't see the machine, right? But by hearing the sound, you understood that there is someone running a machine, which we call as inference. By inference, we are able to understand. So also, by kind of experiences we go through, we infer the qualities behind. What are the qualities? Sometimes we are very pleasant, very peaceful, and very quiet, and very joyful. But sometimes we are pretty aggressive. Sometimes we act like pretty foolish. Why do we do like that? We don't know. What makes us to act like that? That also we don't know. We don't know, but people around us understand that. Isn't it? People around us, they will understand, oh, maybe this guy is not in a cool mood, is not a quiet, probably he was disturbed. That's why he acts pretty aggressive. They understand. But we don't understand. And we just yell at others, and then we finish. The reason behind is rajas is dominating there. As long as it is the rajas that dominates, then you become pretty aggressive. And you look at the objects also in a different way. They may be in some way, but you understand them differently. And then you start getting aggressive, and then you act indifferently. The reason behind is rajas of the nature, because your body is also made of nature, right? Whatever you eat, that's how your body grew. So whatever you eat also from the nature, whatever you drink also from the nature, whatever you breathe also from the nature, everything is from the nature. So whatever the nature has, that is how the body also acts. Whatever the ups and downs you see in the nature, they also will be here in the body. So you have to balance them. Here you are able to balance because of the knowledge that you have. But their nature has no control over them. Whenever something gets aggressive, you see the aggressiveness in the nature. Either you see the wind blowing or the water blowing or something damages. But here it is not like that. Though sometimes something boiling inside, you want to be quiet and you are able to control yourself to some extent, of course, not totally. To some extent you are able to control ourselves and just sit quiet. We try to suppress. We try to suppress because we have knowledge. So knowledge is the one which will be able to sometimes balance the things. It will be able to suppress the aggressiveness. It will be able to also bring up the quality, what you call as a sattva, to up. Right? So that is where human beings become great. Other animals cannot do that, but we, the human beings, are able to do that. So there is sattva. We can infer its presence when we are very quiet, when we are able to understand things properly, when we are able to act perfectly. Then we can think, yes, maybe sattva is dominating now in us, so we are like this. But when we are pretty aggressive and people talk, say, hey, why you are so aggressive? Why you are so mad like that? Huh? Why you are so crazy? People ask us, like. So that is when maybe Rajas is dominating, which we won't understand. But people feel it all around, and then they feel a kind of pain, sorrow. So that is a Rajas, what we call. It shows things in a different way, and it always gives us desires, anger, and possessiveness, and all these what you call that kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, right? Did you hear the names? So these kind of qualities which are always cause kind of pain to others around, so such things will be dominating. The reason being rajas behind. And third one is called tamas. When tamas is the one which dominates, then you can see the result of that as laziness, drowsiness, sleepy, and not totally able to understand anything at all. What we call that ignorance, right? These are the qualities of, these are the results of tamoguna, right? So how many qualities nature has? Three qualities: sattva, rajas, and tamas. What quality we want always to be with us? Sattva. We want the sattvam to be always dominating. Rajas should go down, tamas should go down, and sattva should come up. That is what we expect. That is the reason you try to keep the surroundings as far as possible